Okay, we are once again live from the Gratwick app across multiple social media channels. Just had a great team meeting today. We are doing a massive revamp to our UI using Claude Design to really revamp and make everything look, let's say, slick. Slick would be a good word for it. One of the big things we had discussed in our team meeting today was creator sovereignty and what that means and why that is kind of at the heart and soul of what we're offering with Gratwick, and why once you get into it, Gratwick isn't even the right term for it. We're building this platform first and foremost for ourselves, for our own brand of content to exist on its own terms. I don't know how many of you spend time on X, but for the past week, probably a couple weeks now, I've seen nothing but creator YouTuber meltdowns about how they woke up and they were labeled inauthentic content, and their 10 years of monetization and hundreds of thousands of subscribers are all gone. They've got no connection to them. They're completely cut off from their livelihood and revenue stream. Nobody to appeal to, nobody to ask what they did wrong, nowhere to go. And that's, in a nutshell, YouTube's business model. And I know Chris Pawlowski over at Rumble keeps saying, come over here, we're not YouTube, but you are YouTube. All these platforms are YouTube. They want you to build your audience on their platform. And if you do anything they don't like, sure, Chris says he's not going to kick anybody off or anything. That's today. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know who they're going to sell a company to. You don't know when you build an audience on someone else's platform, they own you. Because if you leave, your audience isn't leaving. Your audience is staying there. So it becomes golden handcuffs. You can wake up one day and be demonetized, and there's nobody to complain to. There's nothing you can do about it. You can go build a new audience somewhere else, but then you're just building a new prison for yourself. The only solution for now and being future-proof is creator sovereignty. And what does that mean? That means your own platform. That means your own ecosystem, end to end. Now, obviously, everybody can't go and build their own platform or doesn't want to go build their own platform, and they have to build an audience for that platform. And discovery is important, and all of these things are fair points. And that's why we're addressing it for ourselves, but we're also planning to address it for you as well. And how do we plan on doing that? Well, once we've built our platform, the platform's already built. Once we've stress tested our platform with the live production of Just Drive and a demonstration of how we intend to use our platform, then our plan is to make the platform open source. You can take the platform and you can run your own version of it, your own brand, your own control. We can't deplatform you. It's your audience, your subscribers, your users, your choice on how you monetize it. Yes, there's a lot of responsibility and work that comes into that. But if you're spending years building hundreds of thousands of followers and subscribers, you're already doing that work anyway. But instead of doing it for him or doing it for YouTube, you're doing it for yourself. The discovery tool is also something that we're going to solve and help people with, because ultimately the goal is to have an aggregator app that functions just like YouTube, except for one key caveat. You can leave anytime you want and take your entire audience with you. You have total control over your existence in that discovery app. Think of it like a mall. This is the analogy I gave the team earlier. And you have your own physical store that you can pull up and connect right to the ecosystem of the mall, and you can get all the foot traffic and all the discovery, and you can do advertisements in the mall and everything you want to draw people to your store in the mall. But if you decide to leave and you want to take your store to a different mall or take your store down the street and have your store completely independent from the entire mall, you are free to do so, and all of your users and subscribers come with you. That's what we're building at Gratwick. And the entire reason we're building it at Gratwick is because we want our own creator sovereignty. We want to stand on our own 2 feet with our own brand, our own community, our own engagement. That's why not every single user in the Gratwick community can post in our social feed. We don't want cat videos. We don't want bots. We don't want toxicity. We don't want shitty political opinions. We want creators that we believe in and that we back and we support and we put our brand behind creating on the Gratwick platform. If that's not you, or that you don't want to be a Gratwick creator, take the technology, run with it. You don't want to be in our store? You don't owe us anything. There's no revenue, there's no cost, there's nothing that we're getting from you if you take our technology and run it yourself as your own complete autonomous branded platform. But if you want to be part of the Gratwick network for a small membership fee of I want to say 3%, our CFO and the rest of the team feels more comfortable with 5%. It'll probably be some sliding variation in there depending on perks and services and value that we add to you and your autonomous ecosystem. Then you can be part of our mall. You can get on our network. You can have advertising benefits. You can have marketing benefits. You can have a whole litany of benefits. Let me just look at our list of benefits so I'm not just talking out my ass. Ultimately, we're going to move towards a peer-to-peer network. That means your hosting costs of running your own platform go down dramatically. You get access to the mall, the Discovery app. So you have, again, foot traffic and people that aren't always driving to your platform, finding out about you and your content. If you need support, feature requests, you want to see the platform continue to evolve and develop, we'll do all of those things without taking ownership of you, without taking control of you, without putting golden handcuffs on you and having you worry about waking up one day and finding out that crazy maniac at the top of Gratwick said, "You're out, you're done, we're kicking you off the platform, we're deplatforming you." That shit just doesn't fly anymore. That shit should have never flown in a free speech society. And, before we get into it and content and Section 230 and all of those things, our publisher is the Gratwick app. That's where we publish our content and our creators' content. Your platform is where you publish your content. We can collectively work together in a federation, in a federalized system that allows for an open network and interconnectivity, but you are still you, we are still us, and there is a line between us. If you start doing crazy shit and terrible content and illegal content and running a toxic community, that's your cross to bear. That's your legal quagmire to navigate through. That's not our job to police you. That's not our job to have legal liability over that. You exist on your terms. We exist on our terms. If you want to play in our mall, then you'll be, of course, bound by a set of guidelines and principles that the mall is established under and you agree to when you plug your store in. But if you decide you don't want to play by those rules anymore and you leave, your audience comes with you. I mean, I think this is a pretty obvious solution and a necessary solution, but nobody wants you to not need them anymore. YouTube, Patreon, Facebook, OnlyFans, Rumble, name a platform. You go to my Rumble channel. You go find Sexy Betty on OnlyFans. You go to my Facebook page. You go to my YouTube channel. You're still going to somebody else's platform. You're not going to your platform. Your audience isn't going to your platform. They're going to your section of somebody else's property. I had a conversation with a YouTube creator on X the other day that was complaining about, I'm like, he said that he had 300,000 subscribers. It took him 12 years to build and he got demonetized overnight. And I'm like, you had 12 years to start thinking of how to mitigate this risk, how to diversify yourself, how to start gradually pulling your audience off of YouTube. Well, they won't leave YouTube, he complained and said. Well, if you decide to roll up your trailer in somebody else's farm and set up shop there, you're always going to be at risk of that person telling you they don't want your trailer on their property anymore. Until you have your own section of the internet, your own sovereignty, you will always be under the thumb of whoever else's property you exist on. It's just the way of the world. That's how governments work. That's how property rights work. That's how the internet works. The only way to have autonomy is to exist on your own terms in your own section of the internet. So that's why we built it for ourselves. But the difference is, I don't want to control you. I don't want to run a third-party platform. I don't want to police your content. I don't want to have to freaking see all your shitty cat videos in my feed. I don't want to have to worry about your terrible opinions and your toxicity and being nasty to people and just turning the feed into doom scrolling and all these fake journalists and all this other nonsense. Don't want it. Don't want to see it. That's why I'm building an oasis for it. You come here, you see our creators, you see our content, you follow the projects that we're developing and building, you engage with our community for the reasons that we're all here. We like this brand of content and the stories that it's telling and why it's telling it. And we like the people that are humans creating the content and the passion, love, and soul that they're putting into it, regardless of their political backgrounds. Doesn't matter who they vote for or what they think. They're not here for a political rally. They're here to tell a great story. They're here to make a great piece of content, whether it's a movie, a video game, a song, an AR, VR experience. All of these things Gratwick intends to fund and establish media funds around the country so other creators can get the financing and resources they need to tell their stories on their own terms without giving up ownership of their content. And if they come up through the Gratwick platform, God bless them. I hope they then create their own version of their own platform and spin off and do their own great things under their own umbrella, under their own brand. That's what we're building the technology for. I'm not building it to run a technology company. I don't want to be Mark Zuckerberg. I don't want to be Elon Musk and have everybody hate me even though I'm trying to do the right thing. I want to run Gratwick, make our content on our terms, and engage with our audience that is here because they support and believe in Gratwick content. And I believe there's thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of creators who want the same thing for their own brand of entertainment. That's why we're making the technology open source as soon as we've stress tested it and made sure it's ready for people to use on their own terms. We will continue to evolve it. You'll be free to evolve it on your own. You can fork it and go and do whatever kind of improvements and updates you want to it. If it's great, we'll add it to the main fork. But this is where the world's heading. But the problem is, rich people aren't going to finance that. VCs aren't going to finance that because there's no data that they can steal from you to sell back to their buddies. This isn't. I don't want to get into the data farming business. I want to tell movies and stories and create content. The technology arm of Gratwick will exist solely to develop the platform to maintain its individual autonomy and benefit to the creators who use it. We're not looking to get rich off of you and your audience. I believe in my content. I believe in what I can create and what we're building. That's where we want to get rich off of. We want to get rich off of telling great stories and giving people access to great creators. And when I say creators, I mean our entire team, from the director, the producer, the writer, all the way down to the makeup person, to the PA, to the craft services person. They're all going to have their own personalities and character. That's why the real content we're giving you is access to the entire creative journey. That's the Gratwick brand of entertainment. You can follow the entire creative process in real live reality show from beginning to end. And if the Amazon truck driver shows up while we're live streaming and he's got packages to drop off and the dog barks, you're going to hear the dog bark. That's called real reality. So, I don't know. What is that? 8-10 minute stream of consciousness? Semi-rant? Who knows? But that's what Gratwick's here for. That's what we're building for you. I hope you'll come and help us build it together. We're looking for cornerstone creators that want to own a piece of the technology and the platform that we're building. And again, that's the technology wing and arm of it. It's going to be open source. You can take it and use it as you want, but we still need partners managing and caretakers for the direction of that technology. Have an active participation in what it is that's going to give you your independence. I don't care if you're in Detroit, Florida, San Francisco, where you are. We're coming. The goal is to build a media fund in your community to fund you and your projects and other creators like you, and allow the community to invest in that media fund so that you and your creative talents and your skills and your team and your people can stay where you love to be, and the community can benefit and share in your success. And you don't need to run off to Hollywood. You don't need to go off onto a third party platform and be a captured creator. You don't have to give up ownership of the content that you create. Those days are gone. Vertical integration, beginning to end. I want it. You want it. We all need it. That's what free speech looks like.